Well, we have another one, this epidemic of, Caucasian women want to morph themselves into black women and take jobs and opportunities and set asides that's supposed to be for black women, and they trying to insert themselves in it. Now, case in point, we have this other one at the University of Wisconsin. Now, we did a story about the lady before, Jessica Krug. Now it's this one, okay? So this woman was a graduate student and a teaching assistant. She stepped down from her teaching role after admitting to lying about being black and also lying about saying she was Latino as well on multiple occasions. So they say the former University of Wisconsin student admitted that she was Italian and Sicilian descent. Well, that's in the same area. So just say you're Caucasian from Italy. That's just about it. And she apologized, same thing, apologized for the insincerity, but she was outed by another student, right? So there was a post that was posted to Medium back in September 4th. And the anonymous student shared evidence that the woman, CV Vitolo-Haddad, had faked a black and Latino identity. He continues to say that I have suspected CV Vitolo, a PhD student at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, of engaging in the same kind of race shifting and copious lying. It said that now has people enraged with Krug. That's what the person wrote on medium.com. It said the author said that they had been exposed to conflicting information about Vitolo-Haddad's racial identity. And since the two met upon Vitolo-Haddad's matriculation to UW as PhD student in the school's Department of Communication, it says she identified as a person of color, then claiming Asian and Afro-Latino heritage. I don't know what even anybody would believe this woman. That's the funny part, right? Another time she says that she was Ethiopian. Really? You look nothing like Ethiopians at all. So why did you even say that? You don't even look black. I don't see how somebody would find you out sooner. But you're in Wisconsin. Maybe you're in just an area where there's not a lot of black people. Because I don't see how anybody would even let you go along. Get certain questions, we can ask. And most of us, especially down here in the South, know what to ask to find you out. You know what I'm saying? So the author had wrote, Vitolo-Haddad constantly wrote on social media about she was being the victim of racism, and says that that she was perpetually shifting the terms and specifics about racism. So they said one time she brought sage to class on one occasion to cleanse the space of whiteness. Oh boy, they really doing so much. They doing way too much, okay? So they said that her physical appearance had changed because there's a photo from 2011 that she looked like herself being white. And then, later on down the line, she started putting on the blackface. Okay. So she made her apology and said she's sorry and regretful to do this. But this is the thing. We keep seeing this over and over and over and over again. Now, the fact is, black women or men, we aren't liked, we aren't wanted in this country, and this country has shown this for hundreds of years, but yet y'all won't stop just trying to do blackface. You don't want to come around our spaces because that's what you wanted to be. She wanted to be in black folks' spaces. Like, why do you keep doing that? Why? Obviously, somebody knew that something was up with you, obviously, because if you were really treated like a black woman, you wouldn't want to put on that makeup that you have on. But long time ago, I remember when I was a kid, and I remember I asked my grandmother one time I saw somebody and they were real light skinned. I'm like, Grandma, what are they? Are they black? What are they? They're so light skinned. Because I'll just more so on the guys of, hey, if you really black, you like me or darker. Kind of like how they are on the continent, right? If you like me or darker, well, everybody knows what you are. If you light skinned, well, you mzungu. Yes, they will say you mzungu if you are light skinned. I thought that was very interesting. And I told that story before. What happened to Brother Sharif? They call him Mzungu, but he's my camera guy, and he a light skinned brother. He's like, oh no, I ain't no Mzungu. It was funny, that exchange. But My grandmother said, listen, the way you figure out your people is just listen to them talk long enough. You'll figure it out. She says a certain inflection in our voices that no one else have. It don't matter what accent they speaking with. It don't matter if they trying to quote unquote sound traditional, mzungu. You know, some of them will try to do that. You still will hear the black in them. And so she always trained my ear to listen. And certain questions she said I should ask, certain features to look for. So she always said you want to know who your people are at all times, you know, just in case you need to get, you know, link up with them or whatever. You need to know, because slavery is the main reason why we have all these light-skinned people all over the place in our community. Let's call it what it is. It's not their fault. It's slavery. For them, you know, they purposely did that, purposely created by the end of slavery 600,000 what we call today biracial, but at that time period, they call them mulatto children. They did it on purpose to break up the cohesiveness of the black community. I mean, that's clearly stated even in the Willie Lynch letter, to purposely create those children on purpose. And that is a tactic of war to do that in mass. Okay, so even the Chinese Communist Party is even doing those sort of things, even in the African continent. So now you're seeing all these children starting to run around in certain African countries where they half Chinese, half, you know, African. And that's done for, you know, like I said, that's a war strategy, right? That's not a situation of, oh, love is love. No, that's not that. But you got to know who your people are, and you start questioning people. You start looking at them. You can look at the texture of people's hair and tell certain things. You know, let me not really spell out too much, because I don't want the next one listening to my video and say, oh, let me tighten myself up so I don't get found out. You know, certain things we can say here, certain things we can't. The only thing I'm saying is, to black folks, you should know who your people are by just listening to them. You should know the connection that we have with each other. And if something not right, question it at all times. Question it to the core. And because my grandmother trained me to listen very well, that's why accents don't bother me. 'Cause, you know, some of y'all, you know, you hear a person with an accent, I didn't understand nothing they said. Like, no, they speak in English. You're just not listening, because your mind is going all over the place. You have to train your ear to listen to people sometime, and slow down and clear your mind and just listen so you could retain what's being said around you. You have to do that as well, especially what we're dealing with today. But we living in a time of exposure, ladies and gentlemen. That's why these things keep coming out. These things been going on, but now more and more and more, these people are being exposed. And that is a good thing. Now, if the University of Wisconsin want to make it right, you know, replace her with a real black woman, a real one that you can verify her parents and the rest of her family. Just saying. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about the situation that happened with this racial dolezal part 20. At this University of Wisconsin. Like I said, I don't understand these people at all. You say you hate us so much, you treat us bad, but yet you still want to be around us and be in our spaces and want to dress up supposedly like us.